I think the fringe benefits of having this surgery are self-evident, but the main one is just making me feel better about what I see in the mirror. That's basically it. Well, actually, it should have been about 4 or 5 years ago, but you know, lockdown happened. This kind of gravity thing where my eyelids started to drop, it's just the makeup of my face, I guess. Started to notice it about 8 or 9 years ago, and thought, okay, this is not going to get any better. And looking at the certain people in my family that have got a similar structure to my face, I could see that it's not going to be lasting very long. Certainly in the industry I'm in, you know, having some kind of aesthetic or positive aesthetic is main for what we do. So it's just something I've been thinking of. I'm starting to look tired when I look in the mirror, starting to look sad, which is quite depressing when I look in the mirror. And like I said, 4 or 5 years ago after lockdown, it's just getting worse and worse. So I want to get there before it gets too far. And not that I'm ever going to get away with it, because I'm not about telling lies, but it's about looking like you've just had a holiday or you've just been refreshed. So it's not a drastic difference. I think that's the key. Mostly it comes down to vanity, but there are other mitigating factors as well, because my eyelids are stopping my eyes from opening, which is making me lift my eyebrows a lot, which is causing headaches all the time, which is debilitating. My eyesight is getting worse because I can see my eyelashes when I'm just through general day-to-day, just seeing things. That's an odd situation that I'm in. And hopefully just give me a little bit of the face that I'm used to seeing on posters whenever I toured the country, and I'd see myself everywhere. Seeing that guy again, that would be nice. So it'd give me maybe a little bit more longevity in what I do, you know, knock back the years, a couple, maybe 3 or 4, that'd do me, that would. Well, any surgery is a positive outcome. Not to look done, that would be great. Not to look like there's been any kind of fiddling with. So it looks natural and just literally rolls back the clock to where I was before. And I've seen Alex's work before, and it's the reason I'm here, because anybody he's done surgery on, you would never tell. Certainly from an immediate face-to-face, you know, conversation. I just think he just hits the natural spot just beautifully.
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
You guys here okay today?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, no problems. Fantastic. So you all set and ready?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Good, good, good.
His ability to not leave his patients looking like they've had surgery, I think, is the key to everything. And I've never seen any one of his patients in any of the literature or pictures or people that I've met who have been his patients look like they've had any work done. And I think that's the key. They just look better. They just look fitter. They look healthier. They look like they've had the clock turned back. And I think, well, you know, you do your research, and that's why I'm here today. With the coaching side, and everything really that Karidis offers is just, it's more than I expected. So you've over-delivered. I think it's great to go into a situation where you're putting yourself into a scenario where your expectation is there, and then you've just exceeded it so much further. So yeah, it's perfect. I love the therapy side of it, because what it does, it digs into what you're really thinking about, the process of why you're really doing this. And yeah, it makes you just think a little bit more about the procedure. So you couldn't have offered a better service. I've been a bit skullduggerous, really. I've told certain people who I know can keep a secret, because there's people in my family who can't hold their own water, so I'm going to leave it to see, because I want that surprise element to see what reaction I get from when they look at me, because they will definitely see, because they're observant people. But there are certain people who I've told have been incredibly supportive, understand completely why I want to do it. I mean, it's not gone unthought about this thing, it's not gone unconsidered. So they've been with me all the way, and the people that don't know about it, I'm really looking forward to see what their reaction is. If any at all, who knows.
So what do you want me to do with the skin? A couple of bags?
A couple of ears for somebody would be nice, wouldn't it?
Let's have a look at it. Okay.
The recovery process is probably the only thing that I've got any real concerns about. And not that they're major concerns, because I understand that there's going to be recovery, there's going to be pain, there's going to be recuperation, but it's how long it's going to be. That's probably the only thing, because it's the only uncharted water, I guess. It's the getting better and hoping the healing goes down. In my history, I've usually recovered pretty quickly, so hoping the same applies to this.
So with Sam, in a minute, we're going to take him down to theatres and we're going to deal with the excess skin he's got on the upper eyelids, which is giving him a slightly sleepy look, closing down the eyes. So this will brighten him up quite a bit, look more refreshed, open-eyed. Same time, we've got to keep it natural for him. And of course, we're going to deal with the excess bit of fat he's got under his chin. Now, it's remarkable actually, when you do remove the fat from underneath the chin, the skin actually does have a reasonable elasticity to spring up. We're going to help it along by giving a bandage which will push the skin, pin it up to where we want it to heal, and that will help aid the contraction of the skin. But yeah, it's going to be, obviously, he's going to have a recovery period, a few days, a little bit of bruising, maybe some dark sunglasses, and we'll keep the bandage on for maybe 24 hours, just to give him a little bit of, reduce the swelling in the area for him, make him a bit more comfortable. But yeah, look forward to it. It should be pretty straightforward, hopefully.
Well, it's 11 weeks now since I had my operation, and I'll be honest with you, it's like it was always like this. It's so natural now. I look in the mirror and the face I see is the face I'm used to seeing. There is the odd shock every now and again when I catch myself sideways and I go, oh, there he is. So that whole stigma of looking old, looking tired, looking constantly angry because of just the physicality of my eyes, it's gone, completely gone. Changed my life. I haven't had a single headache since I had my eyes done. Yeah, gone. No more painkillers on a daily basis, 2-3 times a day. That's gone. It's brilliant. Like any operation, you have no idea what's going on when you're under. Then you wake up and you lose track of time and what have you. My expectation of pain coming out would have been 10 being the worst, 0 being the best, would have been around 6 or 7. It was 0. There was slight discomfort under the chin here because I had a bit of liposuction under my chin. With regards to my eyes, there was no pain at all. The support was the same prior as it was post, which was way above expectation, making sure everything was right, making sure I was adequately taken care of. The aftercare was first class. I was given every step of the way in the post-operative room and then after with phone calls, information I came with, more than enough medication to take care of me on the outside and phone numbers if there was any problem. So every base was covered, it was perfect. So from start to finish, it was just the best treatment you could get. Again, it was something I didn't expect with regards to the coaching. Prior, I was chatting to the therapist about how I was, my thought process leading up to the operation, how my anxiety levels were, and albeit, I suppose, favourably for me, she said that I was kind of like the perfect example of what you should be going into an operation because I'd done all the homework, I'd processed my brain into being in a place where I'd accepted what was going to happen, how it was going to happen, until the point where I had to relinquish control, which was when I gave myself to the anaesthetist and the surgeon, to Alex. And that was where it's out of your hands then. So every process that you could have was kind of already done with me. So, but to have it there, because I can imagine anybody that didn't have that stability, I guess, of mind going into this, it would have been so worthwhile. And afterwards as well, again, just checking up to make sure that I was fine. It was just first class. It was just a brilliant process. Nobody's noticed. It's been crazy to the point where I say nobody's noticed. A couple of days after the operation, and again, the bruising went down really quickly. So like 2 days after the operation, I was sat in the kitchen with Linda's sister and her brother-in-law, and they both went, "You look really well." And I said, "Oh, thanks very much. I've lost a bit of weight being training." They went, "You look fantastic. Have you been, when did you start losing?" I said, "Over Christmas I lost a bit of weight." And they went, "Oh my God, you look really well." And they were really trying to figure out what was different, but they couldn't put the finger. I didn't mention it, and to this day they haven't mentioned it. My dad still hasn't mentioned it, hasn't said anything, just said I look really well. So it's amazing how much people don't take notice of what you look like before. I guess people are living their own lives and taking care of themselves, but it's amazing, yeah. People are just telling me I look great, and that is worth all the money in the world. Do the homework first. Absolutely. Diligence with regards to who you go to and who you see. It's worth going to a few consultations. I know it's going to cost you money to do this, but this is something you don't want to get wrong. The money. This is the first thing that people see. Your eyes are the soul. You know, they're the doorway to the soul. So, and your face is with you forever. But the way it made me feel, certainly prior to the operation, the negative effect that it was collaboratively having on me, just looking at my face in the mirror, brushing my teeth in the morning, I'd look at my reflection and I would have this negative start to the day. So then when people look at you, you're wondering about how you feel. It's not so much that it's overwhelming, it's taken over your life, but subliminally, it's there all the time. And this builds and builds and builds to the point where you think, okay, something's got to change. And blokes, we kind of suck it up, we own it. We don't. We're all dealing with our own things. And so it's taken all of that away in one day. All of that is gone. I don't have any of the anxiety of looking at myself, no anxiety of having a photograph taken. I don't worry about what I look like when I leave the house. Even when I do my hair looks better because my face is a better shape as it was before. So it's fundamentally changed the way I think about myself. And to have that mindfulness and wellness of mind, you can't pay for that. I'm getting emotional because that's what it's done to me. It's changed my life fundamentally for the better.
Yes. Hey Sam, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so it's looking great, looking fab, and looking above all else, looking natural.
That's my dad hasn't even noticed.
But the eyes certainly have opened up. You can see it. I mean, I was looking at the before pictures there. You can have a look at these and see what, you know, how heavy those upper eyelids are.
Goodness
I
me.
mean, you couldn't see your eyelid basically because you had this flap of skin that was just sitting there.
As well, but I just cannot believe how bad it was. I mean, that just shows you, doesn't it, just how tired you look.
Yeah.
And the difference it's made.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, Alex.
That's and the other thing, of course, is look at the profile here. Look at that profile.
My goodness me.
Look at that profile. I mean, that is an old man's profile, but now you don't have it. You got more definition between the sort of the neck and the jawline. Okay.
Alex, what I love as well is the fact that you didn't give me expectations beyond reality.
Well, you know, this is the thing. It's the hardest part of our job is living up to everybody's expectations. So we have to try to convey to patients what's possible.
Yeah.
Because you sell them something that you can't achieve, they're going to be disappointed.
Of course they are.
So we got to be realistic. Let's have a look at the eyes first. Close your eyes. That's the thing. It's impossible to see the scars. You have to look extremely closely to see them. And even though they're 11 weeks and open your eyes, they're still healing. I mean, they're pretty much sort of very, very
Well, I can't
minor.
see the scars because I have to close my eyes to
Well,
expose them.
that's exactly the thing. And even other people can't see them unless you close your eyes. So that's it, you know. So, and you don't talk to people with your eyes closed. So there you go. Let's have a look underneath there. Yep. Now there's a little bit of firmness here going on, which tells me there's a little bit of swelling, a tiny bit of scar tissue. So this area is still evolving, but you know what? It's contracted very nicely. And well, there aren't any scars effectively because the scars are literally 2 millimeters on either side of the chin here, but impossible to see. So just put your chin slightly down. See, you have an angle here now at the moment, whereas before there was no, it just went straight down.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, but you got more room to get this better.
The all-round effect, you know, from the difference is just, it's off the scale.
Yeah.
The cost, the expediency, the
Yeah.
way you've done it.
And,
is just
how has it affected your psyche? Because that's the important thing. For a lot of people, you know, they get disappointed, sort of despondent, depressed when things, you know, they try to do it on their own, it doesn't help. And then suddenly you remove this burden from them and they feel lifted and they feel as though they can do things now.
As soon as you asked the question, I started to smile.
Yeah.
Because every time I look in the mirror, I say, oh, there he is. Hello, where have you been?
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
I explained to someone earlier, it's like when you've got pain, all you do is focus on the pain.
Yeah.
And when the pain's gone, you don't think about the pain because it's gone.
Yeah.
So all of that's been lifted, Alex.
Absolutely.
It's changed me completely, fundamentally. Thank you, Alex.
No, fantastic. But listen, we need to stay in touch
Yeah.
until the very end because it's going to take another 3 to 4 months to see that final result. But so far, I'm very pleased and you're doing all the right things. Continue doing it and all's well.